Hey, what's up, you guys? This is AJ coming to you once again from the Thwip side, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Retro Spider-Man 2099. Mailed quickly yesterday afternoon before leaving for work, and I was happy that Mr. Mailman had delivered this guy to me. I had him pre-ordered since the pre-orders went up, so pretty excited to get him. I don't have a Spider-Man 2099 in my collection. And for a channel called the Thwip Side, it's about time I had some more Spider-Man content. That isn't by choice that I haven't had the content. It's just that there hasn't been really anything going on right now figure-wise with him. But I have my pre-orders for other up-and-coming waves. But I'm going to pop them open or take a look at the packaging and then pop them open. We get the retro card, nice 90s style. It's pretty cool. And you get Spider-Man 2099 in the window with accessories. Yeah, really nice cards if you're an inbox collector. And then, of course, you get the back with the old school design of the figure showing you can switch his hands, a little dinky bio, a picture of Spider-Man 2099, and all the mumbo jumbos on the back. Before we take a look at the figure, I wanted to try something a little new, a little different today, and also show my copy of Spider-Man 2099 from the 90s. I forget which year exactly, but I always loved this comic, and I still happen to have that comic in my collection. I've lost a lot of my comics from back in the day, and as I've said in other videos, I've been in and out of comics in recent years. I got back into them, then was out, and then back in, but somehow, even through all that and losing most of my old comic collection from the 80s and 90s, late 80s and 90s, I still managed to have my Spider-Man 2099 books, and number one included in that. And I actually really loved Spider-Man 2099 when he came out. I ran to my local bookstore, which is the only place I could get comics, and used to pick up every issue they had when they came out. But yeah, love this book, love the story. I never got to complete it because the bookstore closed, so I have another mission along with my mission to collect the Spawn run, which is a bigger undertaking, but I've been on a mission to complete this first run as well. So yeah, I figured in the future, if I do a figure review and I have a comic of note that has to do with the figure, I'll share that as well. As always, we'll look at accessories first, and I do like the accessories that he came with, especially seeing that the retro line doesn't usually come with a ton of accessories. There are some exceptions, but they are a little bare compared to other figures sometimes. But he comes with 2 wall crawling hands, which is really awesome, and 2 fists. And I am in the camp that all Spider-Man figures, of that opinion that all Spider-Man figures should come with a set of fists, a set of wall crawling hands, and a set of whipping hands. In this case, he came with the claw type hands, which in this case is definitely okay in my book, because if I remember correctly, I'm a fan of this, but I haven't read it in a long time, quite a while. But because he was genetically engineered to become Spider-Man a little different, I think there's no web shooters, I know that, but I think they come out from the top of his hands. So I don't remember him actually whipping. So in this case, these clawed hands are totally fine for me, and it's appropriate, as you can see by the cover. Oh, and he also comes with this meshy material that he uses to glide, as you can see in the back of the cover. And that just attaches on the back here, like so. While I'm excited to have Spider-Man 2099, others might not be as excited, just for the simple fact that he is, to my knowledge, as far as I can tell, all reuse. And I know some collectors don't like that, but I think the retro line is great for that very reason, that it gives us characters that some of us have missed on. I wasn't collecting Marvel Legends at the time the original released, and I was not about to pay the ridiculous eBay prices for this guy. So my hope was when the retro line started coming out that we would get him, and now my dreams have come true, to be corny. But yeah, although I'll reuse, I don't care. I think that's what the retro line is made for, mostly, to get those characters back into circulation. But yeah, I really like the look. Like I said, we won't go too crazy because this is a Spider-Man body we've seen before. But I think they did a really nice job with the paint apps. They look nice and clean. I mean, it's got the blue, shiny-ish, purpley bluish, shiny body, but the red paint apps are really cool and clean. I mean, I know it's reuse, but it'd be cool if we had an update and this was sculpted. Is that sculpted? Yeah, it appears so. The head is sculpted on around the eyes for the mask. So yeah, really cool. Quickly going over articulation, like I said, because this is all reuse and it's not anything we haven't seen from a Spidey figure before. But for those of you that are new to collecting, I feel I should do it. Head goes really far up. Goes in that much. Side to side. A little tiny bit of tilt. It's got a butterfly joint. Is that hole in? No. It clicks. Goes in and out like that. He's got the bicep. Double jointed. Ooh, be careful. A little gummy, but not as bad as some of the other ones. The double jointed elbows that go that far. He's got a nice ab crunch. Oh, not as much as I thought. Sorry about that. I thought that thing was going to crank way forward, but decent amount. It will go back. This would get in the way. It only goes back a little bit, though. That's weird. Okay. Then he's got a waist swivel. And let's see. I find that is kind of still disappointing for a Spider-Man figure. Needs to go way farther out than that. Kicks up really far, though. Kicks back a little. Rotation at the thigh. Double jointed knees. They go all the way up. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. And then ankle will go forward and back and pivot. So yeah, an older Spider-Man body. I forgot that this one is limited in the out. And that is a little bit of a shame because, you know, it's Spider-Man and he's supposed to be in all these funky, crazy poses. Oh, if you wanted to make his glider go up like that for a pose, maybe on a stand or something, to try to get in a pose similar to that, you can rotate it up. I mean, it doesn't fan out as far as that, but you can definitely do that. That's an option. Get him in the pose from the comic cover here of Spidey 2099 #1. If he had, I think he needs a little more ab crunch and, like I said, a little more out, and then you could definitely get it more accurate to the cover. But yeah, you can get pretty close. And if his head down went down, well, with the crunch with the head down a little more, it wouldn't matter. So a little more crunch, a little more out, and you could have him up on a stand displayed just like the 2099 issue #1. Bottom line for me is that I'm super happy to finally have a Spider-Man 2099 in my collection. And as I mentioned throughout the video, I know that this isn't for everybody. People that already have this figure from his previous release probably don't need to go out and clamor to get him, although inbox collectors might enjoy the retro packaging. But for me, like I said, I missed out on him, so I'm happy to have him. I am one of the people that understand why they used so much reuse, especially for the retro line, and I don't gripe too much about it because, for one, I'm not a big reuse griper, and for two, it's a way for me to get characters that I missed out on, so really happy about that. Now, would I have liked him on an updated body, like the new Spider-Man body? Of course, definitely, and there's still hope for that. They just announced, you know, one of the pre-orders I have is the Ben Reilly Spider-Man on the updated body. So really happy for that. So there's still hope we might get an updated Spidey 2099 on that body. So, but for now, he will do just fine. Super happy to have him. If you don't have him and you're been looking for him, this will be perfectly fine, and I think you would enjoy him, and I recommend picking him up. If you do have him, you could pass on him. That choice is up to you. But yeah, Really excited to finally have him. He's one that I've been wanting for a while. So with that being said, drop me a comment. If you liked the review or didn't like the review, don't forget to hit like or dislike, whatever you want to do. Please consider subscribing. Remember, I'm having the contest at 100 subscribers for the Gunslinger Spawn Target exclusive and the Gunslinger Spawn issue number 1 at 100 subscribers. Like I just said, I tend to ramble. And please consider subscribing, and don't forget to thwip that notification bell. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys all right back here on the thwip side next time. Later.